All right, what is up, everybody? We are here with a post-draft show, and not only any post-draft show. We got him, ladies and gentlemen. You've heard of Mel Kiper Jr. This is Al Kiper Jr. Mel is a ripoff of Al. He's a cheapskate, and he's always wrong about things. We don't appreciate it, we don't like it. I know a guy, Al Kiper Jr. He's the real draft guru. This is him, Al.
That's right. This is Al Kiper Jr. Happy to be here. Thanks for having me, Patrick. I have not slept since the draft. I've been drinking Monsters and Fruit Loops since then, and I'm still ready to talk about the draft. The only topic I've talked about since the draft is the draft, and it was a great draft. Very great draft.
Good. I like to hear it. Fruit Loop milk can keep you going, too. You know.
Yes.
That's a good drink. I'm glad you pointed that out. All right, so, general thoughts, overview, what do you think?
My overview of this 2019 NFL draft, it was a very deep draft. Some years you could kind of tell the separation of talent from the first round to the other rounds, but this year I thought it almost went 4 rounds deep, and we saw a tremendous amount of talent, young talent, all different variety of positions, some really great defensive linemen, really great offensive linemen, lots of them, and I'm excited to see them come this fall.
Yeah, I agree. I remember seeing a lot of guys going in those rounds that I remember watching play in college and thinking they were great players. So I think there could be a lot of late round talent who is immediate impact players in the NFL, right? So what do you think? Who had the best draft? What team?
Well, Patrick, I think the rich got richer. I think it was the New England Patriots. They won the Super Bowl, of course, been in the Super Bowl almost every single year. It seems like they're in there every single year. And this year, I think they got 6 guys with first-round grades that I had. All the way through the 4th round, they had just tremendous picks. No one who really jumps off the board, but I think right away you could see first-round pick number 32 in the first round. They went with N'Keal Harry out of Arizona State. I think that he could be a very great possession receiver. I think he's in the mold of a Keyshawn Johnson. He's going to be the kind of guy who gets you 10 yards a catch. I think in the 3rd round, they got 2 guys who I think could become superstars. They get, of course, running back Damian Harris. We all know him from Alabama. He was the 2nd string to Josh Jacobs, but showed tremendous breakaway ability. And I think you add him into the backfield there, you already got James White. You already got Rex Burkhead. Sony Michel was a breakout rookie star last year. You're adding Damian Harris into the backfield. Good luck to the rest of the league. And on the defensive side, in the 3rd round, they also had Chase Winovich, who was the top-rated defensive player in the Big Ten last year. He could end up being a tremendous star. You see this guy, he's got the long blonde hair. He almost looks like Bill Belichick's son as a player on the field. You mean, you've seen Steven Belichick on the sidelines. Chase Winovich is the player version of him.
All right. Well, I'm glad to hear that. You're very enthusiastic about that. And that leads me to believe that you're probably pretty spot on there, and they had a good draft.
Thank you. It's the curb your enthusiasm. That's what I always say.
Okay, cool. Awesome. Right on. So, who are we going to look back on and say, like, that was the best player this draft produced?
And of course, that would be my favorite player, who is Christian Wilkins, defensive tackle from Clemson. If you watch college football at all in the last few years, you know who Christian Wilkins is. He's number 42 from Clemson. He would play it on a fullback, tight end, offensive line, defensive tackle, defensive end, all over the place. He is going to be such a wrecking ball for the Dolphins. They get him at pick 13. New coach Brian Flores. I had him in the mock draft going to the Patriots. You know, he's from Boston, Massachusetts area. Now he gets to go down to the Dolphins, their rebuilding team. I think Brian Flores from the Patriots is going to line Wilkins up all over the place. I think he's going to be Hall of Fame type talent in the NFL.
Hall of Fame type talent, and that's saying a lot. But, you said it yourself. He was a do-it-all kind of guy on the best team in the country, right? Not everybody could do that. Not many people could do that.
He's a 4-year starter, 6'4", 315 pounds. Very quick, very athletic. Good luck trying to block him as a rookie next year.
Yeah, I'm excited to see him play too. That's a good pick there. So what's the best quarterback then?
My best quarterback. Not necessarily who I think is the best quarterback, but which guy I think went to the best team in the best spot to succeed.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
And that's Drew Lock, 2nd round to the Denver Broncos.
Really, you?
Yeah, I do. I'm a huge fan of Lock. He wasn't the most accurate. He wasn't the best statistical quarterback. He didn't put up the most wins, but he made the most miraculous throws. If you put on his tape, you say, how did he do this? How did that ball land in the receiver's hands? How did he put that ball there? And he's going to the best situation. He's only 22 years old. He's going to sit behind Joe Flacco, John Elway, general manager, president of the team. He gets to go learn from Hall of Fame quarterback, Super Bowl winning quarterback playing ahead of him. He gets to sit back, learn about the other teams in the AFC West, and gets to play at Mile High Stadium, Denver Broncos' best home field advantage in sports. And he also gets to pass to first-round pick Noah Fant, who they took in the first round, tight end, who's very fast, ran over a 4.4. I think he could be a tremendous target for Drew Lock whenever he gets to get onto the field.
Yeah, everything you said there makes sense, and it's hard to argue against any of it. Obviously, there's going to be a lot of opportunity given to some of the other guys picked there. Obviously, Murray's a big story. We got to see what happens with him and Chosen Rosen, but I can't really argue against the pick because I'm not as convinced as some people are. The guys at the top are going to be, the studs they think they might be. So we'll see about that. All right, let's wrap it up. Who's the sleeper pick? Who got a steal here? Who's coming out on top with something that you didn't suspect?
Someone who I'm going to give the sleeper pick of the draft to is, of course, Hunter Renfrow, one of my all-time favorite college football players. Goes to John Gruden and the Raiders in the 5th round. I think the Raiders are getting a Fred Biletnikoff type talent that he's going to go there. All he does is really just make miraculous catches, gets first down, gets clutch catches. I don't think he'll ever maybe be a number 1 or number 2 receiver in the NFL, possibly a 3. He'll be a 4 or 5. He's going to get 20 to 30 really clutch catches, probably mostly all first downs, and he's going to be a key contributor for Carr or whoever's playing quarterback for the Raiders for the next 7 to 10 years.
That's a good pick too, and that totally is kind of the definition of a sleeper pick, right there. If that's kind of the way that his career works out. There's going to be somebody that we're not thinking about, obviously, I feel like, who's just, come out of the 5th round and be a Pro Bowler.
Dexter Williams comes to mind, running back from Notre Dame. He was really just afterthought in Notre Dame. Everyone counted him out. He goes to the Packers, who have a little bit of opportunity there. I could see him slipping in, getting some action. There was a lot of undrafted guys in this year's draft. I mean, you think about Kyle Shermer, son of Giants coach Pat Shermer. That's why I didn't think the Giants would take a first-round quarterback. They ended up going for Daniel Jones at number 6. I thought they would end up going with Kyle Shermer, son of the head coach, kind of go for an Austin Doc Rivers of the NFL. But they didn't do it. Now Shermer ends up on the Chiefs. You see Tyree Jackson, who had a tremendous arm at the Combine. He goes to the Bills as an undrafted free agent. You saw Jake Browning, who a year ago people thought might have been a first-round talent from Washington. He's undrafted to the Vikings. Lots of undrafted talents. Manny Williams from Arizona State ends up with the Packers. Undrafted guys all over the place. And my real sleeper that I'll throw out there is Vincent Testaverde. That's right.
Vinny Jr., huh?
Son of Vinny Testaverde goes to his dad's old team, the Buccaneers. Look for him to challenge Jameis Winston in the next 4 to 5 years.
I would love for that to be the case. I'm hoping Jameis succeeds, being a Buccaneers fan. But, we'll see. That'd be fantastic. I'd love to see it happen. All right, Al, I really appreciate you coming on the show tonight.
Thank you for having me, Patrick. I was very excited to be here, and I'm looking forward to the Big 3 draft. It's another draft coming up. I like all drafts. Any draft of any sort, so if you're having...
Yeah, you're the draft specialist, and it's a shame we couldn't get Al Stamos here tonight. We'll have to see if we can bring him back next time we're around. That way we can have a bit of like a 3-way conversation, so it's not so, face-to-face.
But any draft will be Al Kuiper Jr.?
Yeah. We'll figure this out. So... thanks, man. Have a good one, everybody. We'll check this out in our next video.